I am making an Infernoid deck profile. I haven't played with this deck in a tournament yet, but because I'm still learning with it. But with what I have so far, I really like it. And this weekend I'll be taking it to a tournament where I'll then uh, post in the comments how I did with it. But if you have any ideas of how I can improve it, please really comment below. Anyway, starting with the monster cards, you play the most important Infernoid, 3 Infernoid Decatron. When it's normal or special summoned, you send an Infernoid from your deck to the graveyard except itself, so they can then copy that monster's name and effects. Then I play 1 Infernoid Antra, Harmadic, and then I also play 3 Infernoid Arima the Wicked Warden. You can discard Arima to then add 1 copy of Layer of Darkness from your deck to your hand, or you can tribute a monster to either draw a card, and if that monster tribute was not itself, you could also add a level 8, or add 1 dark monster 2000 more defense. I always just search out Darkest Diablos. And then I play 1 Infernoid Patrulia. And I play 1 Infernoid Sajit. And I play 1 Infernoid Cydamus. I want to increase this to 2. But since I only have 1, I'm playing 3 copies of Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair. I'd replace one of these with another Cydamus. Then I play the usual things you send with Decatron, which is 2 Deviati and 2 Onuku. Deviati is spell and trap, or is monster negation, and Onuku is spell negation. However, when Onuku is summoned, it then nukes, I think it's every other monster, and then Deviati's every other spell. Yeah. And that is it for the monster cards. For the spells, I play 1 copy of Terraforming so I can search for Layer of Darkness. I play 1 Reasoning. And get with Infernoids, my opponents will either say 1 or 4, generally 4. But this just helps you get more Infernoids in your grave because they cannot be normal summoners set. So this just sends them to the graveyard. And I play 1 Void Seer. I want to boost this up to 2. Just because you can make an Infernoid unaffected by your opponent's card effects this turn. Because I also like using this with the Tondo, which I'll probably take out another Diablos for. And then, I don't know where my copy of this card is, but I do have one. I also play 1 1-for-1. 1-for-1, you can discard a monster, special summon Decatron from the deck. Then I play 3 Monster Gates. Essentially Reasoning, but you just summon the first monster that you can. That isn't in any of the Infernoids except Decatron. Then I play 3 Super Poly, since I'm playing Lair. And I have also 3 Layer of Darkness. I play 3 Layer of Darkness because I can use my Infernoids to attribute my opponent's annoying monsters for cost. And the reason I've made Super Poly is because of this card making everything dark on the field. So I can just use Super Poly, fuse 2 of my opponent's monsters together, summon Striking Venom, then use Infernoids to tribute one of my opponent's monsters. I just like it. Then I play 3 Void Banishment and 3 Void Imagination. Vanishment, when it's activated, I can add 1 Void spell or trap card, except Null and Void, from deck to hand. And that's pretty much the only effect you ever use with it. And then Void Imagination makes it so that all your Infernoids become level 1. Because all the Infernoids, except Decatron, have the effect where they cannot be summoned if the total level of monsters you control is 8 or less. And then Void Imagination also lets you fusion summon using monsters from your hand or field as material by sending it to the graveyard. Or if your opponent has a special monster from the extra deck, you can also use. I believe it's 4. Nope. By using up to 6 fusion materials from the deck. But your opponent has to use a special. Have to have a monster special from the extra deck for that effect. And that is it for the spells. For the traps, I only play 3 copies of Void Feast. Void Feast, you only activate by sending a Void spell trap from your hand or field to the graveyard. But then you summon Infernoids from your deck as long as their levels equal exactly 8. So you can summon 2 Decatrons and whichever one that level 6 is. Sajit. But usually what you want to see with this, from what I've seen with Void Feast, if you see Void Feast and Void Vanishment, you're pretty good. Because you use Void Vanishment, search another Feast, set them, then when your opponent goes to do something, activate Void Feast, sending Vanishment, then activate a second Void Feast, sending the first Void Feast. Anyway, moving on to the extra deck. Starting with the links, I play 1 Security Dragon. Never come up, ever. 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Actually, I guess that's a lie. I've never used the effect of Security Dragon. I only use it to summon Unicorn when I have tokens. And I also play Equimax. Equimax is amazing with Infernoids because you can zone 2 Infernoids to zones it points to, have it attack, then activate an Infernoid effect, tribute Equimax, so those 2 can attack now. Then you play 1 Ningirsu, World Chalice Warrior, 1 Topologic Trisbana, 1 Bomber, and 1 Boral Sword. For the fusions, I play 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, 2 Elder Entity Natis. This card is never actually fusion summoned, it's just sent off of Infernoid Tears effect. And I play 1 Violet Chimera against Salad. Okay, I don't like calling Salad. Salad great. And then the main monster I fusion summon with Super Poly, I play triple Starting Venom. And to finish off the extra deck, I play 1 Infernoid Tiara. I've thought about taking out one of the Starting Venoms for another Tiara because kind of like having 2 of them. But what Tiara does is never actually found it. It has an effect depending on how many Infernoids were used for its fusion summon. It requires Onuku, Deviati, and 1 or more. But if you can get off all of its effects using 10 or more Infernoids with different names, then you get to have each player send their entire hand to the graveyard. Each player returns up to 3 of their banished cards to the graveyard. Each player sends the top 3 cards of their deck to the graveyard and sends 3 cards from their extra deck to the graveyard, which is why Natis is there. Because you summon this, activates effect to send it the 3 extra deck monsters. So if I'm not fighting, Silent Grey, I'll send Violet Chimera and 2 Natis. And the 2 Natis will destroy 2 cards on the field. Usually Infernoid Tear one of my opponent's cards, unless I have Void Imagination in play. That is it for the deck profile. If you have any ideas how I can improve it, or anything I was wrong about, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.